guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me trying out some tips and tricks that I've learned on YouTube, just some things that I've seen here and there, and I just really want to try them out. So yeah, let's just jump right into this video. First is, you always want to use a primer. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of primer on. I am guilty of not always using a primer, but you know, we're just gonna put some primer on. So these tips would kind of be like beginner kind of friendly tips, I would say. So if you want to use foundation, I'm just gonna go in with this one here, and I would say use a beauty blender, because beauty blenders are gonna be a lot easier than brushes, and sometimes I feel like beauty blenders just apply the makeup a lot better. And also make sure your sponge is wet. I just have a bottle of water here because I forgot to like wet this before I sat down, so I'm just going to use some of this. The sponge is wet. It's not as wet as it could be, but it is damp, so we're going to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and put on foundation. And another trick that I learned from a YouTuber, her name is Juicy Jazz, and what she does is when she put on her foundation, she doesn't really put it under her eyes, and I've just been wanting to try this out because you're going to put concealer there anyway, so you just apply the foundation everywhere else but just not under your eyes. And I just feel like this probably would be a better solution. That way makeup doesn't like cake up under your eyes and stuff. So just apply it everywhere else but not completely under your eyes. I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, and then before I go ahead and do the concealer under my eyes, I am going to go ahead and do my brows. Brows is kind of tricky. There are different types of pomades, powder, and also there are different types of just brow pencils that you can use. Since this is kind of like tips and tricks kind of like for beginners, I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to use powder because I feel like powder can be a little bit more easier to control. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. This is just the ColorMates brow powder here, and it comes with two shades. There's a dark shade and a light shade, and I'm just going to go in with the darkest shade, and I'm just going to take a angled brush and just, what I would say do is just lightly apply it. I don't really do lines with this, like carve out their brows first. I don't do that with this. I just kind of just put it on my hairs a little bit, not too much, and do it that way. And sometimes, you know, you will mess up and you will go over just a little bit or just mess up. So only thing we would do for that is, of course, we would use a concealer, but I'm just going to use my brush and just brush that all out. I just seen this trick from another YouTuber's page. I can't remember her name, but what she did was she used a lighter concealer for the bottom of her brows and then used like a concealer that's kind of close to your skin tone for the top of your eyebrows, so it just kind of looks blended, but like your under your eyebrows would be kind of like highlighted. So I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna use the AOA Studio Wonder Concealer in Fawn, and I'm just gonna use this under my brows because it is a little bit lighter than this shade here. And you just want to carefully do this because I have sometimes like went in and kind of messed up my brows and had to go back and fix it. So I would say do this kind of slowly and just take your time and eyeball it. Okay, and now I'm going to take the darker shade and go on the top of my brows. I've never tried this, and once I saw this, I was like, I really wanted to try this out, and like, why not try it out with you guys? So this is what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's just a darker color on top and then a lighter color underneath. And what we're going to do is just, of course, blend it out. You can use your wet sponge, or you can just take like a small brush. I've used plenty of brushes. I've used like flat brushes like this. I've used angle brushes like this. And I've also used my beauty sponge before. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my angled brush for this today. And another tip is you want at the bottom to go down with the concealer, and sometimes I go like over, but most of the times I try to go down with the concealer because it just blends out really nicely. And also, if you want, you can use sponge and just pat carefully underneath and blend it out just a little bit more. And I'm still kind of going like in a downward motion. And now we can just go back to the brush, and with the top part, what I normally do is kind of go upward with blending it. Don't know if it worked out as perfect. Maybe something a little bit lighter, it'll work, but this does look really nice. Like I still can see like it is light underneath my brows, and it looks pretty good actually. And having the top look more like your skin tone, it just makes it look more natural, I guess. And I really like this. I'll probably start using this method a lot more. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild concealer, and this is a medium peach. You want to go like 1 or 2 shades down from your original skin tone color if you want to give you like that highlight effect. If not, then you could just use a concealer that's your skin tone to make all your face like look like your skin. But I just want it a little bit light, so I'm gonna use this one. And this one, it's a little bit still too light for me, but it's okay. And I like to do my forehead. I would say you don't have to do your nose or your chin, because when I first started out, I don't think I really did like my nose and my chin. But if you want to, just put like maybe like 1 little dab on your chin, and then just like a little bit down your nose. And then just take your wet sponge and blend it all out. I kind of feel like I see a difference already with this, because like I didn't put foundation underneath my eyes, and I feel like I can kind of see a difference, because when I do it that way, sometimes I feel like it looks a little bit cakey, but I just keep blending until like that cakiness kind of goes away from me. And I feel like doing it this way, like you don't have like too much product up under your eye, so it won't cake up as much. So I'm actually really liking that method. So shout out to Juicy Jazz for that. I really like watching her beauty videos, and I think she does a really good job. Okay, and just make sure everything is blended in really nicely. Another method that I got from Juicy Jazz is what she does is, if she's going to be using like a loose powder like this, what she does is she takes her sponge and she always blends out her concealer first to make sure like it's not creasing and everything, and then she goes in with her product and she just pats that underneath. And I have tried that out a couple of times, and I think it does help. Use the other side really quickly, and then pat some of this underneath. And to be honest, you guys don't have to use a loose powder. You can use like a pressed powder. Sometimes I do that too. And the pressed powder that I have is LA Colors, and this one is more of like my skin tone color. And what this does, it just pretty much gives me like a more, you know, it just gives me like not a brightness effect, but it gives me like a natural effect. I just feel like it blends with my skin tone. So when I want to go for like a natural type of look, I just take a pressed powder more to my skin tone, and I just put it underneath my eyes, and it just all blends in nicely. Like it's a little bit light but not too light, so it looks nicely. Actually, I'll just take a little bit of this and put it on this side, so maybe you guys can see a little bit of a difference. So I'm just gonna take my sponge and I'll put some on there, and just gonna pat out that concealer one more time, and then use that powder. So I'm going to bring you guys in just a little bit so you guys can see what I'm talking about with the 2 powders. You guys can tell, but this side seems more natural looking, and this side is more bright because I did use a like loose powder on this side of my face, and then I just used this natural tone color on this side of my face. So this is like the effect that you guys can get. I actually didn't set the rest of my face, so I'm gonna take this one and do my chin, and I'll just take this and do my forehead and my nose. So let's just go ahead and finish this off. And with this, you can use a brush, but I'm just gonna use my sponge because it's just a lot easier to use a sponge, guys. So let me adjust my mirror, like I can't see. And sometimes some people, what they do is they'll take like a translucent powder or a pressed powder like this and set their whole face. I normally don't do that because I mean I never really see a reason to, but it probably is a little bit good to do that, but I just never tried it. And I mean, I feel like my makeup does fine. It doesn't move or anything throughout the day. So, I mean, you don't necessarily have to do that. Let's see what I meant about my eyebrows. Like, it's a little bit lighter at the bottom, and then at the top, it looks kind of natural and neutral. So, of course, if you're a beginner, you don't have to do this step. But what it is you can bronze up the face or contour. I call it contour, but I guess it is considered bronzing because I just use like a powder. You feel like that your makeup looks a little bit too light and you just look washed out and just whatever, and you want to bring some color back into your face, you would just need some type of bronzing powder or just a pressed powder that is like a little bit darker than your skin tone. Not too dark, but just a little bit. And this is the color that I have here that I've been using lately. So what you want to do is just take some type of brush. I've been taking like this brush here from AOA Studio, and I just take some on my brush, suck my cheeks in, and I just kind of bring some color back into my face, because sometimes I feel like I may overdo my makeup and I just want to bring a little bit of color back into my face. So that's what I'm going to do now. Like, this color isn't too dark, and I actually like the effect that it gives me. Like, it doesn't look too dark on my skin. But if you want to go back, this would be more considered, I guess, bronzing, more than contouring. But if you want to contour, sometimes, you know, people take a darker shade. So I am going to go ahead and go back, and I'm going to use this one here, and it has like a darker shade in the inside. And I'm going to go back and just put just a little bit in some spots. I'm going to use just a smaller type of brush. And add a little bit of this everywhere that I just put the other one, just to deepen it up just a little bit. And then a lot of people like to contour their nose. I don't personally like to do that. I actually like my nose. I mean, and I haven't mastered it yet. Like, it's kind of hard to do, but you can if you want to. You just, you know, I'm not going to even try to tell you guys how to do it because personally, I'm not good at it myself. I do it sometimes and sometimes I don't, but I just feel like I'm not that good at it, so most of the times I don't do it. So if you're a beginner, I would say skip that part because it's not necessary. So next is blush. Now, blush I use sometimes and sometimes I don't use blush. But for the sake of the video, I guess I will use blush. So here is one of my favorite blushes, and I actually got this from the Dollar Tree, to be honest, you guys. Like, makeup from the Dollar Tree, don't be scared to try it out. But anyway, that's not the point of the video. But this is the Color Mates blush here, and it is in Sunkissed Tan. And I actually really like this blush. It's like not too bright or anything. I'm going to take my stippling brush. So for blush, sometimes I use this like angled brush here by Wet n Wild, or you can just take a stippling brush to put your blush on. I've been using a stippling brush a lot more for blush, so you just dip it in there. You don't have to do it too much, and if you think you got too much, just tap off the excess. And what I like to do is smile and then just brush backwards, so like this. And that's pretty much it. And just what I would tell you to do is just make sure it's blended in really nicely, because I have put on blush before and put it on too bright, and I thought it was just, I thought I was looking good. I was like, yeah, my blush is popping, I look good, but it was actually too much. So just make sure you just blend it all out. Sometimes what you can do is just take a like a fluffy brush or something, and then just like blend your contour and your blush kind of together, like, you know, just kind of like move it around like that. And I feel like sometimes that helps it. I have did that a couple of times. So highlight. Now highlight is like one of my favorite parts. A good one I would say that you can get is this one, and this is the Profusion Studio Highlight Palette, and I actually got this from Five and Below for $5, and this is what I started out with for highlights, and it actually comes with 6 shades. There's a like pink, a white, or orange. There's a like another pink color, kind of like a darker pink compared to that one, and then you have 2 browns. So you have a lighter brown and then a darker brown in here, and I just think this is like really nice to start off with. I mean, I started off with it and I really like it. So I'm just looking for a brush. The brush I've actually been using lately that I think works really well is just this e.l.f. tapered brush that looks like this, and I think this looks really nicely, but I'm gonna go in with the orange one since I do have an orange shirt today. So you're just gonna dab in here, and me, I'm not really sure like where your blush, where your highlight is supposed to sit. I just go right above where I put my blush. So if I smile, my blush is like in this much of my face, so I just go like maybe here and go back and forth like so, or just put it like right over top of that blush. So like so. And yeah, and sometimes I do bring it up a little bit above my eyebrow. I'm gonna actually use this same brush for my nose. When I first started out, I didn't put it like right here on the top of my lip, but I started to see people do it, and I think it looks really nicely, to be honest. So I just take a little bit and just brush it right there. And then some people, they do put highlight on their chins and their forehead. I have tried that. It does give a really good look, but sometimes I just don't be feeling like doing that. I'll just leave like these 2 spots just normal, and this is what it would look like, and I love it. And then also what you can do is take some type of brush. Doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna take this small like angled brush and take a little bit. I think I'm gonna use white for this part, and you can just put that right underneath your brow. So it's to give like your brow that highlight effect also. Don't have to bring the highlight up to the top like I do. Me, I'm just a little bit extra sometimes, and that's just what I do. But this part right here is just so gorgeous, and I love how it looks. And I just recently started doing this, to be honest, but I absolutely love the look of it. Like, look at that. Like, I'm just shining in all angles. Like, it is so pretty. And the only thing you guys have to do now is figure out what type of lip color you would want to use, whether it's lip gloss, whether you want to use Carmex, chapstick, whatever you have, you just throw it on. So today I think I'm just going to go with some Carmex, nothing too special. So I just have my Carmex here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that on. And you're pretty much set. You're ready to go throughout your day. So yeah, this is what it looks like, guys. And these are just tips and tricks that I've learned throughout doing makeup. And the more you practice, the better you will get at it. And I would just say never give up. If makeup is something that you really want to do, just continue to practice. Look on YouTube or go to somebody that knows how to do makeup, and they can give you more tips and more tricks. And that's pretty much how I learned doing makeup. I pretty much just looked on YouTube and just tried it out. I just never gave up, and I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm not gonna say I'm like a beauty guru or I'm perfect at makeup, but for me, I do a pretty good job, and I just love how it comes out. Okay guys, so that is the end of my video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I just thought I would share my tips and tricks with you guys of different things I have found along the way of doing my makeup. So if you did, please give this video a big thumbs up so I know you guys like this video, and if I learn any more tips and tricks, I will definitely make another video for you guys. So you guys, thank you for over 100 subscribers. I am so happy when I hit 100. I was so hyped, like nobody could tell me nothing. I am so thankful for all of you guys. I hope that we just all continue to grow with each other and everything, and that this Q Squad will get bigger and stronger. I just love all of you guys for subscribing. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I never thought I would hit 100 subscribers, and I did. And I just want to say thank you all for subscribing to my channel. If you are not subscribed to my channel, you guys should definitely subscribe down below, and also hit that bell so you guys can get notified every time I post a video. Also guys, if you really like the video and you want to share it, share this video, leave a comment down below of more videos you guys would like to see. But before I continue to keep on rambling, make sure you guys follow my social medias down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.